Hey, everybody, and welcome to Tribal Trades. Welcome to the Daily Show coming at you from the great state of Florida, where we're currently getting battered by Hurricane Helene. So, wherever you are in Florida, I pray that you are safe and pray for all the areas that are affected and everybody's livelihoods that are at risk. We pray that everybody will remain safe as this passes through. Certainly, I'm in an area where I'm just on the outskirts, so a lot of heavy winds, a lot of heavy rains happening outside right at the moment. Okay, but wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I do want to welcome you to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're regular, you know what to do. Smash that like button. This helps get this content out to more people and helps to support the channel. Really do appreciate that. All the kind words and comments that come through, really nice of people to take the time to write those things and put those in the comments. And of course, all the questions I look to get back to as quickly as I am able to, okay? And so links below are in the description. The cheat sheet is there, and the cheat sheet actually has all my links. I actually put links in all the other links in the description as well. Maybe I should just put the cheat sheet in there. That has all the links anyway, but then it would be just a little bit empty and boring. So they're below and they're in the cheat sheet as well, okay? Including a link to the Discord there as well. If you're not part of the most amazing Discord on the planet, the Stocks with Josh Discord, there's stocks and crypto covered. I'm there in the crypto channel daily, interacting with the most amazing community. Okay, we're going to jump into some news, but first of all, we want to talk about Hamster Kombat because those airdrops dropped or didn't drop. Can you believe it? I haven't even received my airdrop as yet. And I have been warning people for the last couple of months because a few things happened. When I started doing the Hamster Kombat airdrop, it was all exciting. There was meant to be an airdrop, and all of a sudden they delayed the airdrop. First red flag. And I came out on the YouTube channel, on the Discord to say, that's a big red flag for me, okay? Number two, they started to change all the parameters on what you would, suddenly keys were part of it. Before it was just the hourly and how many friends you'd referred and stuff. And then they started to add all this other stuff in and they changed the goalpost. Second red flag. And I said this on the YouTube channel and in the Discord. Okay, and then thirdly, they started to have a legal battle amongst themselves, and there was some legal infighting. I think they even filed court documents. I don't know if they went to court. They settled, and because there were some people was like, oh, too much rewards, and other people wanted to get more. It was just all the other stuff that was going on. I was like, at that point, and this was a few months ago, I stopped tapping, and every day I would go in, I'd collect my rewards, and I'd buy a mining pack, and then I would move on. Nothing more than a few seconds, done and dusted, I'm out. And I shared that with the community that I really wasn't doing much. I didn't have much faith in this to happen, okay? And of course, what happened was everything that I predicted came to pass. I felt that it was going to be a very underwhelming airdrop, and it was. And that's okay. At the end of the day, I'm in 10 airdrops, okay? And there's a couple of things to understand. Number one, airdrops are free. And you don't know what you're going to get. And it's important that when you understand that, you don't want to be spending your valuable time doing this. You want to spend your dead time during the day. And look, there are a lot of people, Americans spend on average 3 hours watching TV and ads come on. And those ads pay the TV companies, but they don't pay you to watch them, okay? And so at the end of the day, you're getting something for watching some ads, and look, obviously, if you're unhappy, just unfollow them on YouTube and on Twitter and on Telegram. Vote with your feet or with your hands, so to speak, to remove yourself from those channels. Certainly, I will be very disappointing with that, but sometimes that's the way it goes, and that's why I'm in 9 other airdrops. And that I'm only using my dead time. I'm not using my valuable time during those airdrops. And I do expect one or more of those to be quite good. And so I'm continuing on like that. So just manage your expectations accordingly. Manage to know that sometimes these things don't work out. This one was an obvious one. There was just too many people as well. When they have that many people to give an airdrop to, there's just not enough money to go around. Okay, so certainly X Empire, a little bit in that bucket. Certainly they have a big following. And is there a good amount of money to go around to satisfy everybody? I'm not sure. And so just be very careful. That's coming up in a couple of days. Certainly, if you haven't seen my video on how to receive airdrops and how to get the airdrops, I made that as well. So make sure you got your Ton wallet connected to the game. Even though I did that and I had my Ton wallet connected to the game, I still don't have the airdrop. I've kind of given up hope. I think I was probably going to get about $70 or $80 from it. Maybe I just need to kiss that goodbye, and that's it. So yeah, certainly. The second thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the news is the training, the one-on-one training. I had an overwhelming response, a large number of emails come through for those 5 spots. And so what I've done is I sat down and I had a bit of a think about it, and I've actually created other training packages that these first 5 spots, these are weekly trainings. What I've done is I've put in 3 more tiers that are more flexible, a little bit more light, won't cost as much per week or per month or whatever, and so accommodate more people, but they wouldn't be weekly. There's a bi-weekly one, there's a monthly one, there's a flex one in there. And so if you are interested, if you're still interested, because I know some people go, oh, it's already filled, you can still go on the waiting list. So I have emailed the first 5 people. I am going to be emailing now, so I have 20 packages in total, but only 5 of those are that one-on-one weekly access training. And then I have 6 to 10, and then I'll email 11 to 15, and then 16 to 20, just over the next few days. And so those of you who got those first 5 emails that have went out, you get priority to choose which package you like out of those 20 packages that are there. And then obviously we move on to the next 5 and down the list. Now, obviously, if out of those first 20 people that emailed, there's now a waiting list. So if any of those people don't take up one of those packages, it will go to the next person on the list, and so on. So still feel free to email in, and you can be added to the wait. At this point, you would be added to the waiting list. However, number one, out of those 20 people that they would need to accept the package, one of those training packages, sessions. And then secondly, on top of that, sometimes people might just do some of the training, say, hey, now I'm good, and I've gotten exactly what I needed from this training, and because I'm not locking in none of this is lock-in. So you can cancel at any time, just give it a week or two's notice there, just so we can have time to contact the next person on the waiting list there. And so if people do a little bit of the trainings and say, hey, yeah, I'm good to go now, love your channel, I'm going to keep supporting you, so on, then that's great. Then that would go to the next person on the waiting list. Also, once all these sessions are filled and I find that I have some time and availability for other sessions, because I'm only going to be doing 5 sessions that are every week. Rest are flexible, our flex sessions, may be able to add some more. And if that's the case, then I will take the next people on the waiting list. So if that's something that interests you, all you need to do is my email address is below, linked in the description. All you need to do is email me there and say, yes, I'm interested. I would like to find out more. And then I would send you an informational package, and then you can review that, and you'll find out more information from that if you move off the wait list into the main list here there. Otherwise, if you email, you're going to go onto the waiting list, and you are going to be in order on the waiting list for that. So certainly if you don't email and the list gets larger and you want to get in later, you'll be further down the waiting list. So if this is something that might interest you now or in the future, I encourage you to jump in and email now to at least secure your spot for the wait list there. Okay, so that's just something I want to help as many people as possible. I want to be able to, we've only got probably about a year left in this bull run, so I want to maximize your portfolio potential as much as possible. And so I certainly have just opened up beyond that 5 to a few more, and I've been creative and I've created some flexible packs there. And so that's going to help open this up to a little bit more people. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions, hit me up in the description. And remember, if people DM you from here or try and reply to you on the YouTube, no, it's via email only. To this specific email address that I put, and I will reply from that specific email address. There's no way that frauds and scammers can defraud you. Just make sure you check that email address very carefully. That is me replying, but you'll see your own reply in the when I reply. So there's no way the scammers can know what you emailed me. So that way I've just made it very safe and very secure there for you. Okay, we're going to jump into some news, and then we're going to jump into the charts here. And so number one, we have the Bitcoin money supply. And the Bitcoin money supply, Bitcoin generally follows the Bitcoin money supply. As you can see, it just does. And that's just the way that it is. There's nothing more you can do to it. It's facts. And so the global money supply is about to break out while central banks are cutting interest rates. Okay, so Bitcoin has followed the money supply there. You can just see to a T, it's just followed along. And certainly, as you can see, all the way back to 2013, just continues to follow this up, the Bitcoin price versus the Bitcoin money supply there. So certainly, this is going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and for the crypto industry as the money supply continues to increase. Again, I've said this the other day, I just keep reading people, on Twitter, like, oh, the bull run is about to start. The bull run's been going to January 2023. When Bitcoin was 16,000, it's up to 65K. Where have these people been sleeping? I don't understand it. We're in the transitional phase. Bitcoin is on the cusp of exiting the reaccumulation phase. This is what I've been telling you all along, that we're in the reaccumulation phase. And I launched the channel back at the end of May. We're rapidly moving towards already almost 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support on this channel. And this is why I have the cheat sheet, so you could be buying at these low levels during the reaccumulation phase, ready for the next phase, which is the parabolic upside phase, which is this green phase here. Okay, so if you haven't really gotten a huge amount of gains, if you missed the first part of the bull run where we had that parabolic rise up to around May, April time, and then we're now in the reaccumulation phase, you were simply just in the wrong tokens. Again, that's why I had my cheat sheet to show which tokens I was in that were going to go high. And, we've already seen some of those big home runs. Sui absolutely smashed it. Potenza Tau absolutely smashed it. And many of the others are starting to move, like SEI, SEI, and some of the others, Ondo's breaking out. And we're going to go into the altcoin charts in a few hours and go over all those trades. And some of those has really begun to pop, like Bonk trade that I gave on the channel yesterday and in the Discord has begun to pop. I gave 2 entries there. You had 2 chances to get in to make life-changing gains there. And this is what this is all about, okay? And so we're now looking to head into the parabolic upside phase. There may still be some entries on the cheat sheet, some coins that haven't popped up yet. It may not be too late to get into some of those that have just started to pop off there. We're going to cover that in the altcoin show coming up fairly shortly. And so then the question is, when is this parabolic phase about to happen? It's soon, right? Well, it's 160 days after Bitcoin halving. In 2020, Bitcoin broke out 163 days after halving. If history repeats exactly, Bitcoin could break out in the next 3 days. This could be really the moment that we are witnessing here. It could get sent early. It could get sent a little bit later. I've always said that traditionally, Bitcoin has really started to break out in around the first part of October to mid-October, but by mid-October, it's pretty much gone or starting to go at that point. And this is why I've continued to put videos out titled, "Don't Get Left Behind, Last Chance to Buy," because we just don't know when it's going to start to go, and it's kind of started to go. I mean, 52 up to about 65. Trying to look to get up to 66, that's a good move. That's a big move. And some of these altcoins have really started to pop. And so this could be a last great opportunity. Of course, there could be a little bit of a flush to the downside, but certainly don't sleep on this. Be ready, be prepared. I know if you've been watching my channel and have been in the Discord for the last 3 or 4 months, that many of you are already prepared and have your bags packed and ready to go, which is absolutely awesome. However, I just want to urge some caution. There are some sell orders sitting at 67. Here Seth says Bitcoin 66K looks thin. Price walking slowly up there. 67K is holding 4,300 Bitcoin sell orders there. So just be wary of that. And we'll look at those charts in a moment. There is some bearish divergence on Bitcoin on the 4-hour, which I've been pointing out the last couple of days. So it's important to check that out as well and how that may affect things. I'm going to jump into the Bitcoin charts right now. You can see that I've been saying all along for months and months, what I've been saying, well, Bitcoin is on or around the 200 EMA. This is a good level to buy Bitcoin, good level to buy altcoins. Now it's popped, okay? It's broken above this. We had a retest and off to the races. This was the entry that I gave you for Bitcoin. If you got in that entry, then you're up about 5,000 in Bitcoin. However, I do want to point coming up there, the 67,000 level, there are some sell orders here waiting, okay? But let's also look at this trend line here. So far, we're getting resisted here. We got resisted here and we dumped down from it, okay? We also got resisted here and dumped down a little bit from it here. We also had a big candle. Whenever we have broken down, we've broken down with violence. Whenever we've broken up, it's broken through this trend line. We've also seen other times where it's interacted. Originally, we found support and then we broke down from it. Here, again, originally we found support all the way back to where we started this trend line. Look what happened. And this is the history of this trend line. It has been a key trend line because we butted up against it and then we had a violent break up from this. You can see went along. So this trend line, this is why I've left this into this bigger channel that I have. I've got this little bit of a trend line here because this is not a bad place to take a little bit of profits off the table. I certainly took some SUI profits off the table. I certainly took some Tau profits off the table. I didn't get out of the trade. I just locked in some profits. We're here to make money, people. Nobody ever lost money by taking profits. And so now I did not take profits on my hodl positions, only on my day trading bags and my swing trading bags, but not my hodl positions there for Bitcoin. So what do we see here? Now, look, those 67K orders could be what they call spoof orders, that people put them in to scare people, shorting whatever, and then they move them off the order book. Let's just say they're legitimate for now, and I don't know if they are. I'm going to guess that they are. And certainly could see therefore a break and a retest. Or we could see a drop. Come back down to the 60K region. Certainly remember we've got options expiry today, and the max pain for that is 58K. People didn't really understand what max pain was, but that's the maximum pain inflicted on options investors, both long and short, or overall. That's the most amount of money that the market makers will take if they can get priced to 58K. And obviously that would probably hurt the long people more than the short. And so 58K is that little sweet spot where that's where they would make the most money and inflict the most financial pain on those who are doing the options which expire today, okay? So that's important there, and that's sitting at around 58K, just under the 200 EMA on the daily and the 50-day moving average, which are both together. We've also got a nice little buy signal here on the Lux algo pushing that up, which is great. The important thing that I've said all along is, number one, we created a higher high. And so we had a high here that was sitting at 65K. We've now created a higher high. So this is a high. This is now a higher high. We've got a low. We've got a lower high. We've got another higher low, another higher low here, and we've got a higher high. So this is very bullish for Bitcoin. Can we see one final flush out to the downside? Personally, I'd like to see that, just because I'd love to see a few of those alts come back and me be able to rebuy some of those positions a lot lower than what I sold them for. That's part of my accumulation method there. And so certainly I am a little bit hopeful we see a little bit of a cool off here. Could see it come down to 62K. And remember, 58K at max pain doesn't mean that price has to get all the way down there. Quite often, it doesn't get to the max pain price, but it will. They'll look to try and push it there, and it can lead to going a little bit to the downside. However, I've seen it sometimes push away from there. And so, but certainly I do see as something that we should be thinking about. Okay, so to the upside, first of all, we're going to need a good break of this trend line here, break and a retest above the trend line to take us up to those higher levels there. And then we've got this other trend line coming down at around, it's going to be at around about when we get there, around 69K. So we've got to break this one at about 66, retest the support, then we can put 69K in our sights. Some people are saying, oh, that we set a high, does that mean we're going higher? Not necessarily. We could come down and create another higher low, okay? So as long as we really don't lose this, what's this candle here, sitting at about 58, 57, as long as we don't lose this candle here, this 57 candle here, 57,493, then we would be creating a bit of a lower low here. So we could stay bullish. We could come all the way back down and test all the way down to here and still be in a bullish trend because we're still creating higher lows and we've created higher highs over here. So I need you to understand that just because we've broken through here doesn't mean that we can't have a huge, wouldn't be a huge dump, but a substantial dump down to this 59, 58, even 62K levels. That would be completely healthy for me. So just be prepared for that. I think some people think, oh, now we busted through that, we're definitely going to 69. Yeah, probably, but it doesn't mean that we can't come down first and retest some areas here before then going up higher, okay? So just keep that in mind. So those are the areas I'm watching as a break and retest, and then a push on to 69, or a rejection from here and a pullback either into 62. There we've got the top of the EMA ribbon bands there at 62, and then we've got further down here at 60 at the 200 EMA in the daily and the 50-day moving average, and then obviously we've got this max pain area around 57. And I'm not wanting to see us break below this 57,493. That would create a lower low there, and then I would need to reevaluate the charts from there. All right, well, I hope that helped everybody today, and I hope you're enjoying your day today. And until the next episode, which is going to be just in a few hours, the altcoin show, so check that out. Also have my stock show, my weekly stock show coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that as well. But again, until the altcoin show, my next show, happy trading.